Diagnosed with abdominal cancer, Laura has faced not only a life-threatening illness, but also emotional betrayal. Her boyfriend, Jacob, abandons her at her weakest, leaving her with rejection and disappointment. Adding to her misery, her career is in shambles, with Jacob stealing the credit for her hard work on a Broadway musical. Laura's isolation deepens as her mother's gestures of support feel impersonal, and her friend Maisie's help remains superficial. In this bleak moment, Laura finds herself yearning for anything that might bring meaning or connection to her life. That's when the monster appears, unexpectedly stepping out of her closet. Unlike the people in her life, the monster is charming and fully present. Its arrival is both surreal and oddly comforting. For Laura, this bizarre encounter provides a glimmer of intrigue in her otherwise bleak existence. How does Laura become close to the monster? At first, the monster is far from welcoming. He's hostile and territorial, pushing Laura away from the house she grew up in. But as they spend time together, something unexpected happens. The monster begins to warm up to her. Accustomed to rejection, Laura discovers solace in the monster's quiet acceptance. His growing fondness becomes an unspoken affirmation that she is someone worth holding on to. Laura's budding closeness with the monster stems from their shared imperfections. The monster's initial hostility mirrors Laura's internalized belief that she is unworthy of kindness. But as they interact, the monster's transformation reflects Laura's slow journey towards self-acceptance. The fact that someone or something chooses her, despite her flaws and emotional baggage, becomes a cornerstone for their connection. The bond with the monster encourages Laura to push through her fear and take steps forward, even when she feels defeated. Although she fails the audition and faces humiliation at Jacob's hands, the monster's companionship gives her the strength to persist. Their love grows not from grand romantic gestures, but from a mutual understanding of pain and an unspoken promise to be there for each other, flaws and all. Why does the monster leave Laura? Despite the bond they share and the happiness he brings into her life, Laura's unresolved feelings for Jacob and her self-destructive tendencies create a rift between her and the monster. Laura's lingering feelings for Jacob stem from a toxic cycle of needing closure and validation from someone who has repeatedly hurt her. Even after discovering Jacob's infidelity and enduring his mistreatment, she still gravitates toward him, seeking acknowledgement of her worth. This toxic pull leads her to make choices that hurt her further, like becoming Jackie's understudy or giving in to Jacob's manipulative charm. The monster, who has helped Laura see her value and stand up to Jacob, becomes the target of her frustration. After her encounter with Jacob at the Halloween party, Laura feels humiliated and betrayed. Instead of directing her anger inward or back at Jacob, she lashes out at the monster, the one source of genuine care and understanding in her life. The monster's decision to leave is not out of malice, but out of necessity. He recognizes Laura's self-destructive behavior and her inability to let go of the pain Jacob has caused her. By leaving, the monster forces Laura to confront her emptiness and the reasons she keeps sabotaging her happiness. Though his absence devastates her, it sets the stage for Laura's eventual growth. The monster's departure leaves her to wrestle with her feelings and, perhaps, finally learn to choose herself over the people who have only brought her pain. She does not feel joy after knowing that she is out of danger from cancer. What does Laura find out about Jacob? Laura discovers that Jacob has been sleeping with her supposed friend, Maisie, rather than Jackie, as she initially assumed. This revelation comes during a moment of clarity orchestrated by Jackie, who chooses solidarity with Laura over her working relationship with Jacob. Jackie's decision to side with Laura reveals Jacob's manipulative nature and further exposes the toxic dynamics he perpetuates. Laura's realization about Jacob is a tipping point. For a long time, she has clung to the idea that she might still matter to him, despite his betrayal. When she learns about Maisie's involvement, she sees how deeply he has disrespected her trust and how far she has been willing to overlook his flaws. This moment also reframes Laura's perspective on her relationships. Maisie, like Jacob, has consistently devalued her. Recognizing this helps Laura see that letting go of these toxic ties is essential for her healing. Instead of spiraling, Laura channels her anger and disappointment into action. With Jackie's support, she plans to reclaim her moment on opening night, finally asserting herself in a way that defies Jacob's control and celebrates her own worth. The monster's role and significance. Throughout her life, Laura experiences abandonment, betrayal, and neglect, from her mother's emotional distance to Jacob's manipulative cruelty. These experiences leave her feeling powerless and full of unexpressed rage. When the monster appears during critical moments of Laura's life, it aligns with her deepest emotional wounds: childhood loneliness, teenage rejection, and adulthood betrayal. The monster's actions mirror Laura's unspoken desires. It kills Jacob in precisely the way Laura once imagined, suggesting that it could be an externalized version of her anger. Its recurring presence, whenever Laura is hurt by someone, suggests that the monster could represent the side of her she is buried, the fiercely protective, unapologetically angry version of herself. Moreover, the monster's encouragement helps Laura channel her emotions constructively, leading her to reclaim her agency. By the film's end, Laura embraces her anger as a source of strength, symbolizing her growth and her acceptance of the parts of herself she once suppressed. Alternatively, the monster could be a dream, a mysterious protector imagined by Laura who enters her life during her darkest times. Maybe Laura never recovered from cancer. Maybe the line from the drama Where Laurie says that the love of her life sees her differently. Perhaps all of this is only happening inside Laura's head after Jacob decided to leave the hospital. Anyway, the more logical explanation will be that the monster never existed. It is just a metaphor for Laura's repressed rage, and his presence signifies her journey towards self-empowerment.